Hi, I'm Danica Tormohlen with Informa Connect, and I am joined by Carina Bauer today. And we are going to give you a quick preview of IMEX. It's a little more than a week before, well, Smart Monday opens a week from today, and then the show opens a week from tomorrow. So we are doing this interview on Monday, September 30th. And welcome, Carina.
Thank you very much. Good to be here with you.
We usually do a preview with Carina. We did one last year. She's the insider. She knows everything that there is to know about IMEX. So we just wanted to get a few helpful tips and preview about the event from her. So we're going to kind of do some quick hits. One thing I wanted to know is, knowing this is a week before the event, what's one piece of advice that you could give to planners who are going to be there a week out before you leave? What should they do?
Yeah, the best piece of advice I can give anyone coming is to just spend a little bit of time this week really planning your schedule, because there's so much on. We know how overwhelming that can be in terms of the choice of education, the meetings that you've got to book, and also all the networking events. So my advice is to just block a couple of hours of your time this week, if you haven't done it already, and just really go through things and plan your time, and plan in some breaks as well, and plan in your travel time so that you are able to get done what you want to get done, and just have those right expectations. So that would be my biggest piece of advice, because there's just so much on. I think it's very difficult to just turn up and just not have any structure to it. I think it can be a bit overwhelming.
I agree. And if anybody is like me, I've been planning already for weeks. It's kind of like I have a spreadsheet, I have my calendar, I've got calendar invites. I'm looking at the app, I'm looking at the website. It's kind of like a puzzle, right?
Exactly.
To put together. My calendar is filling up fast, but that's a great idea to spend at least a couple hours. I have a pre-planning meeting with my team this week as well. And so we will be doing the same. So when you're thinking about speakers, you have tons of speakers. I looked on the website. There are tens of, there's probably over 100 speakers, right?
There are 300 actually.
300. Yeah. Okay.
300 speakers this year. Yeah, across all the sessions.
Yeah. That is an incredible amount to manage. Who is one speaker that you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh, it's so hard to pick just one.
I know.
I'm really looking forward to Holly Ransom. She's going to be doing something on Wednesday in the Inspiration Hub on the show floor. It's an all-day program, but you can drop in and out. It's called Emergent Leadership, and it's not for emerging leaders. It's about how leadership is changing over time. So if you're interested in sort of the principles around leadership, how you can be a better leader, learning from top leaders. She's going to be interviewing a lot of different people during the day, and she's absolutely brilliant. Obviously, a lot of us probably saw her interviewing Bill and Hillary Clinton this year, at PCMA Convening Leaders. So she's really a fantastic interviewer and facilitator. I'm excited to have her for the full day on Wednesday, and I think that's going to be a very interesting set of sessions.
I agree. And I have seen Holly. She is a great interviewer and obviously has interviewed all kinds of celebrities and politicians and, and knows this industry as well. So can relate it to this industry. So that one of those sessions for sure is on my calendar for Wednesday. So that is a good piece of insider advice. So Wednesday, go see Holly Ransom on the show floor. So in terms of on the show floor, can you share one exhibitor or one activation that you're really, you have an inside view probably of already what people are planning. So what is one thing that you're looking forward to on the show floor?
Visit Seattle are going to be sponsoring Pickleball. So I think that's going to be really fun. I'm on with Annette Gregg at 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So Wednesday's already busy, isn't it? So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then one of the things that I think is also just worth noting is that a lot of the exhibitors have different CSR or sort of social good activations and or wellness activations. So, for example, the Win are collecting in socks, new socks. So if you have any socks that you can bring, take them to the Win stand, and they're going to a good cause. So there are lots of sort of quite nice events taking place on the show floor. We have one where you can bring used books and they get shared with children in Las Vegas. So just look out for things like that. And I know LVCVA on the Las Vegas stand, they have a great wellness activation. So those are just a few nice little things on the show floor. Well, one other thing actually on the Inspiration Hub, I'm excited about something called Shared Studios. They're actually educational sessions of different types, but the point of them is you go into this room and it's sort of a portal to have a conversation with people in another part of the world around different issues like indigenous cultures, in tourism, some quite sort of high level issues. And I think that's going to be really interesting, hopefully some meaningful, intimate conversations with people from different walks of life. It's not meeting planners in different parts of the world. It's other people that they're gathering. So I think that's going to be really exciting. It's an experiment and I'm excited about that as well.
Excellent. You guys always push the boundaries and try new things. So, looking forward, I hadn't come across that shared studio, so I'm going to take a look at that and
Yeah.
see if I can squeeze that into my already full schedule. You brought up some good points that I want to expand on further in terms of sustainability. I know you guys have a lot of initiatives. You are very transparent. You put together a report each year on what you're doing. And so, what do people need to know about what you're doing new in terms of sustainability in 2024 at IMEX America?
Yes, so one of the things people notice is when you go to the food courts, all of the packaging that your food is in, and the plates and the bowls, they're all fully compostable. And also all the cups that we'll be drinking out of are also fully compostable. We also spend money and time on the sorting of waste. So even though there are bins all around the show, and some of them, or trash cans, sorry, and some of them, you just can put everything into one. You don't have to sort it, but back of house, everything is sorted, and that ensures that we can keep to 90% plus waste diversion rate, which means that we are classed as a zero waste show. So that's really important. And the other thing is there will be no beef on any of the menus in the food courts and food outlets that we are in control of. And that's really not because we have anything against beef. We love beef as well, but it is the most carbon intensive meat choice. And so we have created menus without that. And we also put all the lower carbon and lower water usage items at the top of our menus, and that really shifts behavior. So we found in the Frankfurt, for example, by doing that, over 50% of the menu choices were vegetarian at the show, just by shifting where it is. So look out for things like that. And also you'll see on the menu, there will be sort of little icons and stars showing you which items use less carbon or less water. So you can make those responsible choices if that fits with your dietary plans as well.
So, yeah, so educating and transparency again, having that information out there for people to review themselves. Is this the first time that you've had no beef on any menus at IMEX America?
Yeah, I think it is the first time
Yeah.
we've done that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the compostable plates and silverware and cups. I mean, that's no small feat. I know you worked very closely with the venue to try to make this happen over years.
Yes, exactly. We work very closely with the venue and our suppliers. We've got to source them, then that has to go into their supply chain as well. So, yeah, it is complex sometimes to ensure that that's in every location. But the venue have been great. They also want to be sustainable. And so we kind of help each other to make sure that those types of choices can be in their supply chain.
Good to know. And that also, I wanted to follow up on wellness. You talked about some of the wellness offerings that are in the booths and on activation. So that is helpful. That to know that there is really, we mean, we've seen a shift towards more of that as well. So in terms of wellness offerings that IMEX is offering, I know you have a run planned, some other things. So what's one thing that you're looking forward to there on the wellness menu?
Well, one of the things that I would encourage people to do, if they're not aware of it already, Caesars and Marriott sponsor the HEKA Health Challenge, and you can download the app. There are some really amazing prizes, and that really is like counting your steps and doing certain activities during the day. I really recommend people get involved with that. There are really amazing travel prizes, so definitely do that. There are also over 50 well-being sessions as part of the education program. So that's a mixture of things like a 10-minute meditation, right through to actually understanding how you as an event planner can incorporate well-being and wellness into your own meeting design. So it's worth going, and if you're interested in wellness, looking at the education track as well. And then finally, I really recommend people look out for, we have a resilience room that the Google New Project is putting together with Hello DMC, and that we also have a quiet lounge. That is just outside the show floor towards where the buses drop off and pick up. And that is a really special space. You know, if you just need 5 minutes to get out of the melee and the noise and just want a few minutes to decompress. The resilience room and the quiet lounge are places to go. Put your phone away and just spend 5-10 minutes. They smell nice. They, we have people in there to actually welcome people, guide people, and they'll be doing meditations and things in there as well. So look out for that. And I think that's important for a lot of people nowadays to just be able to get that time.
So there's two places, the quiet room, which is on your way towards the buses outside of the show floor, and is the resilience room on the show floor in?
The resilience room and the quiet lounge are next door to each other. So you just go out of the back of the hall and you'll see them there.
Great. And I do have a few well-being sessions. I did notice you have quite a few of those. So I didn't realize 50, so that's great to know. And also about that health challenge. It might be kind of fun to track. I mean, I know that I get a ton of exercise steps, etc., but it might be nice to know. I haven't ever done the tracking.
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
it's fun. And there's a leaderboard so you can see how you're doing, and then you can maybe decide to walk to your evening event if you need to get your steps up. So, always like people like that, don't they? A little bit of competition, see where you are in that sort of league table. Yeah, so that's great. They've been doing it for a number of years and it's really popular.
All right. Well, maybe I'll try that something new since I haven't done that one before.
Yeah.
In terms of after hours, so many options for after hours activities every night that are part of things that you're planning at IMEX, and then also obviously some of the exhibitors are planning as well. So I know you have a lot, but what's one after hours thing that you're looking forward to?
Well, I mean, always people love the MPI Foundation Rendezvous, the IMEX America night, they call it, which is wonderful, up at Dre's at the top of the Cromwell Hotel. That's always special. It does sell out, so I do recommend people purchase their tickets now if they haven't already. So yeah, that's great. Also, Site Night is another fantastic event. That's on the Monday night. This year, of course, Tropicana is going to be imploded on the Tuesday night. So there are a few watch parties I've heard around. So if that's your thing, I personally don't think I can stay up that late and have the show the next day. But yeah,
What time is that at? What time is it supposed to be at?
apparently it's at 2 a.m.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just hoping not to be woken up by the noise. At this stage. But yeah, so there's just so much going on. I know, if you're part of a hosted group, then you'll have your activities. But I would say if you're not part of a hosted group, there are so many events going on. I would have a look again on our website, look at the networking events, look at the exhibitor events. And then the other thing I would recommend for those who maybe aren't involved with any of those, Lip Smacking Foodie Tours is fantastic. They are an exhibitor on the LVCVA stand, and they are doing tours on the Monday night. You pay for them, and they do a fantastic job, and I highly recommend them.
Okay. I think some of our team are doing that on Wednesday evening. I got to put a plug in for the IMEX MPI event on at Dre's. It's always a lovely event. It's, a beautiful view up there. The weather's typically nice at this time of year. The different levels that people can, walk around. There's plenty of room, and it does always sell out. So I highly recommend that one. And I didn't know about the watch party, so I'm gonna have to. I don't think I can stay up till 2 a.m.
No.
Unfortunately, but
yeah, there is a party up at DMC Network. I think that's open to all. That's on the Tuesday night up at Skyfall. I bet they'll have a good view of it if they're still going at that time. But they always do a big party, so that's worth having a look at. And Skyfall Lounge is at the top of the Delano. It's stunning up there. Absolutely amazing views of the Strip.
It is. If anybody hasn't been there, I've been to a few events up there, and it is a great spot to go inside, outside, have a great view. It's right there in the venue that we're going to be at. So yes, it's always a good one to check out if you have the opportunity. So I think you answered, I was going to ask you a good place to chill out if you wanted to get some time away. So it sounds like the Quiet Room and the Resilience Room would be good spots.
Yes, also, if you're a hosted buyer, you've got the option of going into the hosted buyer lounge. It's a massive space. We design it in different furniture and lounging options. There's a cafe in there as well. Hard Rock Cafe with Song Division are doing a party in there Tuesday at 5 p.m. So yeah, there are different options for people.
That's good to know. I figured you'd have some inside scoop on that. And I was going to also ask you about for introverts, because I did see, you're working with Google again and kind of expanding that area. So tell us about anything else you might have for introverts.
Well, this wasn't our idea, but I saw on LinkedIn that David Allison, I think it was David Allison, is doing a walk on Thursday morning for introverts. So that you've obviously got the IMEX run on Wednesday morning. So it's actually like a community event that's just built up, and there seemed to be so much interest on it. I think what we've learned from working with Google and the new project is that it's just, I think it's 25% of the general population have some form of neurodiversity. Not that is the same as being an introvert, but it just means that we experience the world in different ways. And so as a result of that, we're just much more aware of the need for people to experience the show differently and to know how that will be. So, for example, we've got a whole web page now around accessibility around the show, giving people advance notice of the menus or how to get around the show if you do have accessibility issues. The resilience room, that's a part of it. And Google will have their collab as a part of the Inspiration Hub again. So they will be doing a lot of different types of sessions. Like, for example, one session is all around listening skills. They are launching the Event Prof's Guide to Neuro Inclusion, so how you can make your events more neuro-inclusive. So yeah, we personally have learned a lot, and they're bringing a lot of that to the show as well.
What's one new thing that you have this year? I know we talked about kind of a few here and there, but one new thing that you're really looking forward to see come to life.
I always look forward to Encore's activation as well. They always do something very special. One other new thing, we've been working on it a while. On the Monday, we have something called a Brand Experience Summit. We'll actually be bringing a group of CMOs to the show, many of whom will not have experienced IMEX before. They're obviously marketing leaders in their own big corporations, and really trying to introduce them to the events industry, how they as marketeers can get the most from events. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting them, to learning from them what they need from our industry, and hopefully growing that segment of the show. So that's taking place on the Monday at Allegiant. So we're working with Las Vegas and Allegiant Stadium and Envision to bring that together, and then welcome them into the show on Tuesday. So I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I did notice that on the calendar. And that looks like a great event to, introduce the trade show industry and event industry to that C-level CMO audience. And Encore does always have a great booth that's worth seeing. They had some really cool activations that they did at last year's show. Okay, one more question for you. For first timers, what should they know, or what kind of advice can you offer first timers?
Well, so the first thing I would say is go onto our First Timers webpage, because there are a whole list of tips and tricks there. We also had a webinar a week or so ago, so I think the recording is up there. They can listen to that. There are a lot of people online, sort of mentoring first timers. So I'd also go onto LinkedIn and ask for advice. And then finally, from that webpage, they can sign up for a first timers welcome on the Tuesday morning. And we're inviting them to fill out their experience profiles, which a lot of people have done with Storycraft Lab. We work with them. You fill out this fun little questionnaire, then you get your experience profile, and based on your experience profile, we give you a sort of curated suggested guide of experiences and events and education sessions through the show. So that's something worth doing, and they're also going to use that to put people into groups at the welcome to help people connect. So that's probably what I would recommend for first timers. And then exactly what I said at the beginning, which is just spend a bit of time planning your time.
Exactly. Great advice. I'll include links to all of those in my show notes and in my story about this so that people can have easy access to it. Before we sign off, I just wanted to know too, like, how is attendance, exhibitors, exhibit space tracking right now, 1 week out? What can people expect compared to last year?
Yeah, it's tracking above this time last year. So the show floor in terms of the exhibit space and the exhibitors will be a little bit larger than last year. And the number of buyers and attendees registered is also tracking a little bit larger than last year. So yeah, I think you can expect a similar show to last year in terms of size, but just a little bit larger. And but hopefully, with some of the with the app, for example, really highly recommend. This is actually another tip I would say for anybody. Download the app and use the floor plan on the app. We integrated into the app this time last year, and we've done it again for this year, Crowd Connected, which allows you to have a Google Maps type experience around the show. So I highly, highly recommend that. The show is large, and that is your best way for getting around.
It will give you directions, like walking directions,
Yeah,
right?
it knows
Yeah.
where you are, and it literally guides you to the right place, which I personally need when I'm getting around anywhere. Yeah, we put up about 500-600 beacons around the show floor to allow that to happen. So yeah, it really was a game changer for us at both of the last two shows that we've had them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Carina, for your time today. And I wish you luck with the meeting next week. And I'll see you in Vegas very soon.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.